Hello, everyone. This is Business to Business with Shani and Sandra. I'm Shani.
And I'm Sandra.
And today we have a show for you. Listen up. It's about business planning. So for everyone who ever wanted to create a business, you're already in the business, you're losing money and don't know why, you need to go back to Business Planning 101. And let me tell you, for those investors that are sitting right down looking at our show right now, you're sitting down. And everyone who's ever wanted to borrow money from you, call them. Tell them to log in to www.arismaradio.com because today is the day we're going to learn how to put a business plan together.
Absolutely.
And we have none other than Emmanuel Ominyini in the house. Everyone say, yay! To help us create business, a business plan.
Mr. Emmanuel is from Operation Hope in Harlem.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about why is it important to create or have a business plan and the reasons behind it and how you go about creating a business plan.
Yes.
Mr. Emmanuel, I can't pronounce your last name. So I'm not even going to try. If anyone was interested in creating a business plan, why are some of the reasons they should? Once they start, decide to go into business.
Well, I think a business plan is very important for a number of different reasons. First and foremost, I think there's been research that shows if you're planning something and you write it down, even if you don't go according to the plan, you're more efficient in how you operate. And so I think the business plan is essential to efficient operation and strategic planning of your overall long-term goals and planning for whatever you do.
Okay.
And so I think, there's many different types of business plans, different purposes for business plans, and that will determine how you write it, who you write it for, etc. But ultimately, I think there's a certain level of planning, strategic planning and development that needs to take place in order to get a successful or increase your chances of a successful venture.
Well, I have a question. Business planning.
Mm-hmm.
What or when did it come into existence? Because, you see the old, you talk to older people that are established. It was on a business shake. It was on a handshake. They did business. And all of a sudden, you need money from someone. Everyone's asking you, you got a business plan? I only need $5,000. You got a business plan?
Well, I think the business plan has become what's commonly used. If you go, back in time, I don't know how or when the business plan came about, but I would argue that people even then had some sort of way that they had planned to move and to transition themselves and to compete, etc.
So pretty much what you're saying is it's basically like a guide to what you want to create.
Yeah, that's all a business plan boils down to. Now, you have an SBA format where you're looking at your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, etc., and there's certain formats that you can go by. But, if you're writing a business plan just for internal use, an individual who, let's say, has been working in a particular industry for a while, generally knows how the industry works. The business plan is for you to say, okay, this is how I'm going to get from point A to point B. It might be 5 pages. It might be 6 pages. It might be 1 page.
Mm-hmm.
But just some sort of planning document. Whereas if you're writing for an investor or a bank, you want to place more emphasis on the financials. You definitely want to put a lot of emphasis on the concept, how you're developing it, your experience. So the business plan is going to be considerably longer because of the audience.
Okay, so
there's really no particular guideline in terms of the length of a business plan. It all depends on what you are trying to create.
Well, I
really?
don't think there's a particular. I don't think it necessarily has to be a particular length. Just like in school, you ask the teacher, okay, how many pages are you looking for?
Right.
And most professors will reply, you just need to meet the requirements. And I think, I don't think you can be too detailed. But if you're doing a business plan properly, depending on what you're planning on doing and your experience and who you're dealing with, it could be, 100 pages.
What is the typical length? I mean, how many pages do you think a good business plan is? How many?
I don't think it has anything to do with length. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think it has anything to do. Okay. I don't think it has anything to do with length. It's just content. I think, to be very honest with you, my experience when I'm looking at executive summaries for real estate transactions that I've worked on in the past, that I've consulted on, a lot of times people who are looking to invest money want it as short as possible because they don't have time to look through hundreds
Really?
of pages of whatever. They just want to see, what you're trying to do.
Right.
Then let's jump to the
potatoes,
exactly.
pretty much, and see what you want and how you're going to go about doing it.
Exactly.
Right.
So, I mean, I would say it should be substantive, but as short as possible.
Short.
And
Okay.
And you want to definitely place a lot of emphasis. If you're looking at just a traditional format, you have the executive summary.
Okay, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, we're going to write this down because this is why we're doing a whole hour with Emmanuel. So
And
if
also,
you need to grab a pen.
Right. Emmanuel's going to go through the step-by-step format of how to write a business plan, but I also wanted to introduce Rich Kid over here
yes,
in the
Rich
red.
Kid.
Rich Kid over here in the red, who's
incognito.
from Harlem, a business owner, and we'll get to him in a second in terms of what his businesses are.
You want to say hello?
Holla back at your boy, man.
Actually, me and Rich work together, and he's very good. Oh, he's very good at the marketing piece. So
really?
I definitely will defer to him when it comes when we get into the marketing piece. But
okay. So
when
let's
put it
go
together,
step by one.
Okay. I mean, this is going to be loose, and
Okay.
of course
It's very
it depends
loose, right.
on what you're looking to do. But I would say you would always have the executive summary on top.
Okay, so what's an executive summary?
The executive summary is just that it's a summary of what you're going to look at. It's more or less the roadmap to the roadmap.
Okay.
Who you are, what you're doing, and what you're going to find in the pages hereafter.
Who you are, what you're doing, and what you're going to find in the pages thereafter. Did you get that?
Okay.
Okay,
so.
go ahead.
Okay. After that, you want to kind of get into the concept of the business. Obviously, the business name, business description.
Pretty much like writing a story.
Exactly.
Right.
That's really what it is. Those
Okay.
who tell the story the best
Mm-hmm.
win at the end of the day. So
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I think that's what it boils down to.
Mm-hmm.
So you start off describing the overall business in
Okay.
general.
Mhm.
And then within that, you want to get in more to the key concept, service description, product description, depending
Okay,
on
no,
what you're
say
doing,
that again. Service description.
or product description.
You have to hold your mic.
Oh, okay.
Service or product description.
Yeah, service,
Okay.
depending on if you're offering a service
Or the product.
or a specific product.
Right.
And then you want to definitely get into that. Now, if you're a startup, you definitely want to be very, very specific when it comes to the service and product description, because so if a bank is looking to lend to you, or if you're looking to go to an angel investor or private equity, they want to have a really good understanding of what you are offering and how you plan on making money on that.
Mhm.
And so that's why it's important also to discuss the business model, exactly how you make your bread and butter.
Okay.
Okay? So after you get into the description of the organization and exactly what you do, you definitely want to place a good emphasis on the market and the marketing. A lot of times when people think of marketing, they're just thinking of advertising, but there's much more to marketing than just advertising.
Basically, you got to know who you're serving.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
Very much so. And by knowing who you're serving, there's a lot of research that can go into that. And I would suggest everybody, if you're in New York,
Talk to the camera.
okay, if you're in New York, there's a great library resource, the Civil Library.
No, this
Oh, okay. The Civil Library. It's Science Industry Business Library. They have a plethora of classes, plethora of information on market research that it never ends, and it's a really great resource for the New Yorker small business. Even it'd be worthwhile taking a trip up here and just hitting the library up, because you could really save a lot of money.
That's on
in terms of
34th and Madison. Is that
34th
the
and
one?
Madison.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
excellent library. They hold a lot of classes on how to
Are
do
they
market
free?
research. Yeah, they're free.
Oh, wow.
Well, it's not free. It's paid for by your tax dollars. So you've already paid for it whether you use it or not. But it's a really great resource for marketing. And then, you want to look at your market, who exactly you're offering to, and then how you plan on, or also look at their buying patterns,
Uh-huh.
how they're likely to be reached,
Mhm.
et cetera. And that would a lot of times determine how you reach out to them.
Okay.
And then you want to get into the financial portion, looking at the cash flow, looking at the income statement, and just the financial cash.
Just a quick question on that. I know we have like a couple of seconds before we go to commercials, but hold that thought with the financials, because people who are starting up normally wouldn't have that type of information. So we'll come back, go to commercial, and we'll come back.